Hello listeners, it's Lewis. Just to let you know that we'll be away for the next few weeks, but we'll be back with new episodes and more special guests very soon. In the meantime, please keep spreading the word about the podcast. If you haven't rated or reviewed us yet, why not take the opportunity? And who knows, we may even give you a personal thank you on the pod. In the meantime, enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to Muppetsational, the UK's biggest Muppet Show podcast, hosted by three huge Muppet fans. Join us each week as we dive into an episode of Jim Henson's classic variety show, now finally available on Disney+. This week, it's Season 2, Episode 15, starring the sexy and soulful Lou Rawls. It's time to get things started on the chronological, explorational, conversational Muppetsational! Woo! Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode. Of Muppetsational. I'm Lewis Chandler.
I'm Jade Turner.
And I'm Emma Chandler.
And we are usually here every week to discuss another episode of The Muppet Show, but this week we're going to be keeping a running track of Emma's blood sugar level, which we were all just laughing about before we came on air.
Yeah, it's thrilling.
All right, so the time I've got is 8:23. At 8:40, whatever, we'll check back in and see what number we're at. How are you doing otherwise?
Yeah, not too bad. A little bit tired, but not too bad.
Jade, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. I feel like I've got a bit more energy than Emma, which is a good thing. But also, you and I are on the vino, so and it's a Friday, so
it is. It is. It's not just any Friday. It is also my last Friday as a
20-something-year-old.
Yeah, it's my And by the time you listen to this episode, I will be in my 30s.
Oh, Lewis.
So,
welcome.
God. So yeah. No.
No, we've left the gate slightly ajar for you at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually off its hinges. It's just from age. Yeah. So if I sound slightly more broken the next time you on next week's episode, you will know for why, because I will now be in my 30s. Well,
on that note, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have a little swig of wine. Oh, delicious chin chin. That's actually the name of the wine. That's not just me being really pretentious. Although it could be, to be fair. Jade, why don't you kick us off with a little production information?
I will indeed. So this episode was originally broadcast on the 16th of December, 1977. It was written by Jerry Jewell, Joseph A. Bailey, Jim Henson and Don Hinckley, and directed by Philip Casson. And Emma, please do tell us more about Lou Rawls, because the first thing that happened when I tried to tell Rich, who was on this episode of The Muppet Show, was that I realised that his name sounds like Lou Rawls, and then I kind of lost it. So I need to know more than that.
We need to know. Okay, yeah. So Lou Rawls was a record producer, singer, composer, and actor. He released more than 60 albums and sold 40 million records.
Mad.
He was born in 1933. The height of his career was in the 60s and 70s. And his most well-known song was one called You'll Never Find Another Love Like Mine. And he did gospel, jazz, R&B. That was his whole kind of vibe. And he won 3 Grammys. And he passed away in 2006.
Just another classic amateur. And he died in 2006.
End scene.
And he's dead. Not, she's skinny, Amber, not death.
I think Emma should announce everybody's death, because everyone should get to hear Emma say generally what they achieved in their life, and then happily say, and they passed away in...
Yeah, get Emma to do the obituaries on the radio.
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth is dead!
Dead.
Oh, I really liked the vibe of Lou Rawls.
Me too.
I liked him. He was fun. Question, did we find Lou Rawls attractive?
No, I knew you were going to ask that. Just
Look, I think we've gone through hundreds of years of female oppression. Not me, obviously, but, I think the very least we can do is switch it around and objectify every male guest we have on the Muppet Show. Because, to be fair, we do get more male guests than we get female.
This is true.
Emma, Lou Rawls, or Lou... You don't roll with
No
him.
rolls.
No rolls.
No rolls.
Sausage rolls.
Lou Rawls or new rolls.
Yeah, I'm going to say no rolls.
No, I am going to say Lou Rawls. Yes, yeah. I'm just going to say yes. Yeah, the vibe, the voice, all of the outfits. It was, worked for me. So another win for me.
I really did like his vibe, and I thought he played very nicely with the Muppets as well. Like, he was very at ease and clearly a very stark contrast from Alton last week. So
For one, he could actually act, so that was great.
So it was a bonus.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there was nothing beyond just like, oh, you have a nice voice. That's good.
He had good vibes, good chemistry. I liked it. Shall we jump straight into the episode?
Yeah, let's do it.
So obviously we land on the cold open in the dressing room, and we've got Sam the Eagle again.
We have. It's a lot of Sam recently, which I'm not complaining about at all, but it's nice that he's getting a bit of screen time, because I do feel like we've had big chunks before where we've not really seen him at all.
Yeah, I agree. I was slightly concerned at the end of this cold open when Lou did his double take, and I use that term loosely to camera. That was that was a very rough double take.
I realised that I did a double take at his double take because I didn't realise that he was doing a double take. I was like, was that a double take? It was so bad. But luckily that was the only real bad spot in his performance, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. His very natural delivery through the rest of the episode, and just very easily conversational with the Muppets and funny. I think this bad double take unnecessarily put the heebie-jeebies in me.
Yeah,
because I was like, oh God, please tell me he can do dialogue scenes.
I was exactly the same. I wonder if this was literally like the first thing they shot and he just hadn't settled in yet.
Yeah. Also, asking somebody to do a double take is actually quite difficult. I'm not kidding. I have been in shows where I've had to do a double take and the director has taken me through it. You think it's just like what? But it's not. It's so much more. That's what you pay the big bucks for the training. Come
on, Lewis, give us your best double take. I know no one can see it, but we can.
Okay. I'll look at you. You can tell by their reaction. It was very good.
It was better than Lou Rawls, let's put it that way.
That's not a high enough bar, Jade.
I'm joking. It was very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, but again, I don't want to harp on about this, but when Kermit introduced him, I did write down Lou Rawls, as in Lou Rawls, because I hadn't appreciated, I hadn't said his name out loud before I'd watched the episode, and it was only when Rich was like, oh, who's the guest this week? And I said it, and I was like, oh God, this poor guy. Obviously in America it probably didn't cause any problems at all, but over here it would have been confusing.
Yeah. See, weirdly, that did not come to my mind whatsoever. Emma, did it come to yours?
No, not really.
Yeah, it really didn't occur to me. Or actually, maybe it speaks to my homosexual proclivities. That actually I just kept thinking, I got Lou Rawls, I count 'em. I just went straight to Dula Peep.
No, I was just like, it sounds like Lou Rawls. Poor guy. I quite liked the Statler and Waldorf, we're old, give us a break at the start of the...
Yeah, I'm going to use that at the start of the next episode that we do.
Very good. But this is now the second episode in a row where we've had Gonzo repeating trumpeting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, where is Gonzo? We've not actually seen a new bit of Gonzo in so long now. Where is he?
Well, we do get a bit of new Gonzo in this episode. Unfortunately, it pops up in a place that we were promised we would never go again.
I know. I literally cannot. I was like, am I watching the right episode? I feel like I've gone back in time.
We will get to it when we get to it.
Maybe that's just where he's hanging out, though. Maybe that's why we haven't seen him that much.
Then somebody needs to tell him to get out of there. He needs to make like Jordan Peele and get out.
Oh, Lewis.
Sorry. Well, sorry. Nope has been on all the sides of the
It
buses, so it's fresh in the mind.
I feel like
have you seen
you
Nope
could have
yet?
maybe done a quicker joke with that though, and said someone just needs to tell him like Jordan Peele. Nope.
Yikes.
Well, maybe like Jordan Peele, one of us could have done it.
Okay, that's it. We've done all three now. It's fine.
The Twilight Zone is where he would have a better time being.
But maybe not Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was not.
It had some good
great.
episodes, but on the whole, yeah, fine.
Maybe if one of us could find the key, we could peel him away from that sketch. And that, I believe, is all of Jordan Peele's screen work that we have managed to get through.
I mean, the only other one I could think of is Toy Story 4, but I don't know how you're going to get Bunny and Ducky into this.
Oh my god. God, I remember watching that scene where they talk about how they're going to get the key from that old lady who owns the antique shop. I just remember the whole audience being like, what the fuck is happening? Like, when it just keeps jumping out at that old lady. What a strange film.
My line on Toy Story 4 is that it is absolutely the funniest Toy Story. Like, they just chucked so much comedy at it. I genuinely, like, I don't think I've ever laughed that hard at a Pixar film as I laughed at Toy Story 4. I mean, I don't understand really the point of it. We didn't need it. Toy Story 3 has such a perfect ending. But for the sheer amount of laughs it gave me when I saw it, like...
It's also got that thing of like, wow, we now have 25 characters that we're all just like trying to jostle about through.
You hardly
this
see
thing.
Buzz. I mean, it's like the second, the co-anchor of the other three films, and you're like, where are you, Buzz Lightyear? Like, just non-existent. And then they gave him a film.
Well, he was busy off shooting his spin-off,
which I haven't seen,
or whatever. No, God, it's sitting there on Disney Plus for free, and I'm like, no, thank you. I'm good. Anyway, this is not a
Toy Story 4 podcast.
Or a Jordan Peele podcast. Mostly because Emma doesn't like the scary pictures.
No, she does not.
Nope's not too scary, Emma. I feel like you could probably get away with Nope.
I think it's still too scary for Emma's.
Delicate constitution.
Yeah.
I think anything where even just the vibe is things are amiss is too much for Emma's. Like,
true.
Unless there's the comforting presence of like David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson there, and the promise that neither of them will be killed because it's network television.
Because they've got 23 more episodes to shoot this season. God damn it.
Yeah, and a buttload of money to be shipped up to Canada. So anyway, right, let's the main plot of this episode is Fozzie's on roller skates.
Fozzie's on roller skates.
It's so bizarre. I just thought, are we back in season 1?
Oh,
I could not disagree more. I thought it was the cutest thing.
I'm with you, Lewis. It was so cute and it was so funny, and just you heard him before he even got on screen, and straight away I was like, oh my god, this is going to be amazing. Fozzie on roller skates, like, there's only one way this is going to go, which is badly, and that's just amazing.
Emma, did this not work for you?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it was funny, and it was quite good to see Fozzie as one of the main plots, but I don't know. I think just because we had, like, At the Dance, and we had, like, loads of season 1 flashbacks, I don't know, when I was watching it I was a bit like, oh, I don't really feel like we've moved forward in this episode.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. So you mean like more the episode as a whole felt a bit of a step back.
I guess, like, I know what you mean. I was kind of thinking like, oh, what is the A plot in this? But for me it got away with it because it was genuinely funny. For me, one of the problems with season 1 was that obviously there wasn't really any through line particularly, and it was just like the bad puns and the bad jokes that we didn't find funny. I actually don't mind that in the backstage business if it's funny. Yes. And this is funny, and it still ties in because Fozzie's meant to go on first, but can't because he hasn't mastered roller skating yet. And then it messes up the whole running order. You know, that means, obviously we'll get to it, but you have the whole business with Swedish Chef and everything. And then you do finally get Fozzie going on. And then also it still leads into the goodbyes as well. And I feel like that was enough structure. And also that sense that we've talked about before about them playing with it too. Like, again, they feel confident enough to be able to sort of to call out the fact that Swedish Chef's meant to be going on in the second half and different things like that. Oh, there was just something really charming and lovely about it.
I totally know what you mean, Emma. The sort of concept of the plot is basically Fozzie is bad on roller skates is, in a way, a bit of a thin runner for an entire episode. However, I agree with what Jade said. It showed that season 2 development because it wasn't just purely isolated to just the backstage. It affected what was happening.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. It was, it wasn't just sort of cast off on this little thing on its own. So yeah, I think I can see where you're coming from, but I do think it was stronger than maybe you might have given it credit for. However, the reappearance of At the Dance is entirely unforgivable, and I blame Jade.
I don't see how this is my fault. This was shot in 1977 when I was many minus years old. Like, this is not my fault.
You promised us.
I didn't promise.
Emma was there. You promised both of us.
You'd obviously had some wine. Emma had a Freddo. Like, this is...
Look how quickly she turns on us with our vices, Emma. This is a woman who's not to be trusted.
I know, it's because you repeatedly keep blaming me for At the Dance, which obviously I have nothing to do with. I'm not happy when it shows up either. You should see the...
Somebody has to take the blame, Jade.
Clearly it's the Muppet Show. You should see the Liz Lemon eye roll I do every time it turns up. And that's not just because I hate it. It's because I also know that I'm about to get vilified on the podcast. And yet again, it's my fault.
Look, we know that I am the Jenna Maroney to your Liz Lemon. And Emma is maybe Kenneth? I was
going to say Kenneth.
Or maybe like one of Kenneth's birds.
Actually, well, is Emma Pete?
Oh, maybe a bit of Pete.
A Kenneth Pete cross hybrid.
Yeah. As long as I'm Jenna. Genocide. I just don't hear it, Liz.
Lou Rawls.
Okay, right, let's bring it back, people. Let's bring it back.
All right, groovy people, let's move it into the first number from Lou.
I like groovy people. I like to be around the groovy people, yes. I don't like nobody that's got an ego. Don't like to sit around and hold a conversation with somebody who don't know where he wants to go. Give me the simple life full of fun and joy. Can you see I'm just a big old country boy? Hey, and I like groovy people. I like to be around the groovy people, yeah.
I thought this song was great. In terms of the actual song, I had never heard it before, but I thought it was fab.
So it is Groovy People, and
nice.
It's from Lou's album All Things in Time, which was from 1976 and was his real big breakout album. The song that Emma said, whose name I've already forgotten, that was his big hit, that was on this album.
Emma, what was the song?
You'll Never Find Another Love Like Mine.
That's the one.
Nice.
The song's fun. Like, it's
yeah, it's got a good. Yeah. It had a good vibe to it, and I kind of liked the little chorus that came bobbing along.
You mean the Sleaze Brothers?
Oh,
ooh! I think I've subscribed to their OnlyFans before.
Yeah, Jerry Nelson and Richard Hunt, I'm guessing, doing dual puppetry of two each.
Yeah.
because it was just
like smoking a joint. They're just
and that. Yeah, doing the Sleeves Brothers. I mean, I really liked that they had microphones because I don't think we've really seen that much with Muppets at this point.
No, they're always just kind of projecting, basically.
Yeah.
Or lip syncing.
That one at the front, I think it was sort of an orangey colour, had a real like overbite, I thought, with its chin. I don't know if you two noticed that.
Were any of them different looking to one another?
Yeah, that one had like a real big chin.
Oh. I thought they were all just the same, but with different coloured hair.
No, if you go back, that one it was just...
I won't.
I know you won't, but if people listening go back, the other three had sort of like normal whatnot shaped faces, and that one had like... It just looked like it had an overbite to me. Yeah. That is it an overbite or underbite? I always get it.
Oh, no. Is that... So if I do that...
An underbite is the bottom teeth and an overbite is the top teeth, isn't it?
Wait, but Emma... Wouldn't that be the same thing? Because if the bottom teeth are under and the top teeth are over over, isn't that? That would be an under overbite and over.
Anyway, whichever one means that your chin sticks out. He had that one.
He's got the Keira Knightleys. Got a case of the Keira Knightley. I look quite.
Go on, Lewis.
I look quite pretty.
Oh my
that was
goodness.
Very good.
Thank you.
Commander Norrington.
Parley. Weirdly, Peter and I, out of boredom during lockdown, rewatched and then watched for the first time, like the 4th and 5th.
Oh, I've never seen those ones.
Yeah, well, to be fair, this was also before all the very untoward stuff about.
I mean, quite a lot had already come out, Lewis, but sure.
Yeah, but no, this was first lockdown. Okay. I know, like, obviously we were like, he's a skis, but we didn't know he was like a full on, Anyway, Scum. Although, did you hear, apparently he's Uncle Fester in this Wednesday Addams.
No, shut up. Really?
Yeah, that's what Dumois is saying, that it's like they're trying to keep it desperately under wraps because they don't want it all to get dragged down, but apparently he's Uncle Fester.
I mean, I think it looks really strange anyway, and I don't really know if...
It looks very weird. I won't be watching.
No.
We won't be
We won't be participating.
Yeah, this will not become Wednesday-sational.
Maybe it will, but about Christina Ricci.
Nice! Look, we could just do Yellow Jackets, although not Emma, because that show is also not for Emma's.
Oh, Emma, you're missing out on watching Yellow Jackets. It's so good. Anyway,
I think Emma can if she has a parent or guardian with them. I did manage to show Emma the first 4 Scream movies.
That's pretty good going.
Yeah.
And then when I suggested we could watch the 5th Scream movie when Emma is up in London over for dinner, just both she and Peter went, no.
Then we watched Barb and Star.
We did. We went for a complete left turn instead, and we watched Barb and Star. Oh, what a great movie. Anyway, so the only kind of problem I had with this number, because I thought Lou was really charming, the song was great, I enjoyed that they had like this little doo-wop group in the front. I kind of just wish, actually, that the Muppets were interacting more with Lou, because he was throwing little asides to them. And they didn't change, like they didn't reply or they didn't interact a bit more. And it's strange because, the complaint we usually have is like, oh, we want more Muppets in the guest numbers or the guest songs, or we want... And it seems strange that literally we have a guest who is throwing out these little, hey, such and such, or over here. And not even like a little turn round from one of the whatnots or something. I don't know, it just felt, for a performer who is giving so much, I was kind of disappointed that the Muppet performers weren't matching it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I just felt like it was very, very basic staging, and they'd just sort of gone, okay, we're just going to have the Sleaze Brothers, and they're just going to be the backing singers, and Lou's just going to do his thing, and they're going to do their thing, and that's it. And it didn't really feel like it had been particularly well planned or thought through or developed beyond that. I didn't mind it, I think primarily because, as we've already said, the song was quite fun, but actually the performance, there really wasn't actually that much to engage with visually in terms of how they were sort of doing it.
Yeah.
I was a bit disappointed that they didn't take it like just that bit further. Emma, what did you make of it?
Yeah, I thought Lou was a really good performer, like both you guys said. But yeah, it was quite a shame that like the chorus wasn't as interactive with him.
What did you think of the variation on the background, Emma?
I mean, yeah, it was okay. It was very like 70s game show, I thought, with
Yes!
like the flashing bulbs.
Oh my god, you're so right. It was like a game show. But I do love they seem to have variations on the here's our Broadway performer, like
Yes.
Yeah.
and this is he's a jazz man.
I wonder if that's a bit Vegas for that sort of time. I don't know.
Maybe actually, yeah. I could see Austin Butler as Elvis performing in front of that. All the Gen Z kids have now seen Elvis because it's now streaming, and it's all over TikTok again. So like,
is it going to be the new Running Up That Hill?
Oh my god, yeah.
no, I don't think it's going to be that. It'll just be. It seems to be falling into the same kind of like Lana Del Rey group of like I don't know how to describe what those little Gen Z kids are doing. They're a mystery to me.
Because you're nearly 30, Lewis.
I will flip this table.
I'm nowhere near the table. I don't know how that's a
Damn
threat.
it! You got me again. Oh wait, it's 2049. Emma, beep yourself in. How we doing?
Oh yeah, I do need to actually do that. So let's find out.
Wait, can we? Let's have a game. Like, what number should it be? And then let Jade and I do like a Price is Right. Guess what it is. Right. So, what number should it be, Emma?
Well, it's not that. It's more just me trying to stabilise it. So you've seen that I've eaten 2 Freddo. So what do you think it is?
No, but I need more understanding.
We need some form of context, Emma.
Well, I take 1 unit of insulin for every 10 grams of carbs that I eat, and I took 6.
No, again, this. Okay.
Okay, so you took 6. So...
I need to even know what like number range we're meant to be looking for. I'm like 1,000, like.
No, it's from like 5 onwards.
To what?
Well, it shouldn't be more than like double figures, so like not more than 10, really.
Oh, okay, right, okay. Thank you. Like literally, I'm going to be like 62. Like, okay, I'm gonna guess 7.
I'll guess 8.
No, 6.5.
Oh,
Very good.
Yes, I win.
Yay!
All right,
I'm probably going to have to eat a load of chocolate though before I go to bed because that's too low to go to bed on.
Fantastic.
Oh.
Well, we'll check back in at 9:10 and see who's closer. Maybe, Jade, we can see whether we stick or twist with our numbers. Oh, I'm so glad your diabetes is a fun game for us.
Hooray!
Hooray!
We just need the Groovy People backdrop now to bring it to life for everyone.
Yeah.
The Statler and Waldorf button on the end of this with the fantastic singer, So Am I. Can you sing solo? So low I can't hear.
Yeah.
Was a great little zing.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems to be consistent now that we get the performers coming off the stage when we go backstage, which is really nice. Kermit saying to them like, oh, very groovy and everything it just, again, for an episode that didn't have that much story, there was a real nice flow to the episode, I thought.
Really nice just scene setting. They come off the stage. Where's Fozzie? Fozzie comes rolling on and about, then realizing that, oh God, that means we need to get the newsreader on. And so we rush to do that. And then we go into the Muppet News Flash.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly, this is my shit. This is what I want.
Well, and also I think like Fozzie goes flying in that scene. So like they're not wasting any time.
Yeah.
You know, it's not only hilariously funny that Fozzie's absolutely not in control at all, but you're not dawdling backstage of like Fozzie mucking about. There is just a really, really good rhythm to all of it.
Yeah, I thought that one was quite a fun one because that's the one where he crashes through the exit doors, is it?
No, that's a little bit later on, actually.
That's later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to say, though, Frank's puppeteering all the way through this entire episode of Fozzie's various trips, falls, wobbles.
Hanging onto the curtain.
Yeah, yes. Oh, we didn't even mention that that little wipe,
good.
a very effective wipe of, going through. You never for a second didn't doubt that Fozzie's 2 real legs were on a pair of roller skates standing on the ground.
Fozzie was roller skating.
Yeah.
Like, nothing else was happening there. Fozzie was roller skating. It was amazing.
Puppetry magic.
That is full puppetry magic.
Yeah.
I never questioned it once.
Yeah.
So good. Lewis, do you want to talk about your... I know he's not your favourite anymore, but your your crush.
Well, Newsman and Beaker they exist in very different places. One is in my heart, one is in my bed. You know what I mean? Like, it's two very different. I don't actually want to have sex with a Muppet. Why do I feel like that's going to be pulled up in a deposition someday? And like, and somebody's going to have to try and, like, in my defense, prove that I'm not some sort of just deviant. He did once on an episode of his own podcast say he didn't want to have sex with a felt puppet.
And nobody believed him.
Oh, God.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Well, the thing is, Muppet Newsman quickly turns into a face of a duck, and I've got to say, even for a freak like me, that ain't rolling. I thought it was a fairly harmless sketch, although I misheard it at first, and I genuinely thought a giant dinosaur/duck was going to crash through the back wall of the newsroom. I can't remember, what was it he said he had?
He said he had mallarditis, but the way he said it, I didn't immediately get that it was mallard in reference to a duck.
See, I did, but weirdly I thought it was like mallard, and then my mind immediately went dinosaur name. It's like a Gallimimus or something like that. So I was expecting like a giant duck to, like the giant bird in the which episode was it of the Muppet Show?
With the weird cage, that one.
Yes, when they burst through and they put the owner in the cage. I can't remember. I thought we were just gonna get like a giant duck, like burst through the wall and then scream like a dinosaur, and then the newsman would have to run away. Because I thought it was very far back as well. I felt like we were seeing more of the newsroom in general, so I was anticipating some kind of smashing through.
I think they've built that setup because you had, I don't know if you noticed, but you had 3 clocks along the top, which were obviously meant to be like the time zone clocks, but I don't know if you also noticed, but all of them were set to completely different minutes, so obviously a joke that they're completely useless and not doing anything. I feel like they've built that setup because, as in, they've built up the set.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, they built the set up.
Because normally he's Lewis cracks himself up.
Well, somebody has to.
Because normally he's framed head, shoulders, desk, so
he is.
knees and toes.
I know. I was like, isn't it ridiculous that we are just programmed as children just to, like, if anybody says head and shoulders, you're just like, knees and toes.
Knees. Emma's not laughing, Lewis.
It's fine. In 10 minutes, we'll find out whether it's because of her blood.
Because we need to call the ambulance for her.
Yeah. If I gotta have another emergency chocolate.
I wish I had to have emergency chocolate. Maybe not in the same way.
I was going to say, I don't wish I had to have emergency chocolate, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't stop me from having emergency chocolate.
But I tell you what, Emma can have 10 cc's of Veterinarian's Hospital.
Woo!
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. So we then go into Vet's Hospital. The joke is a bit of a bizarre one. They keep mentioning nitroglycerin, which is kind of like a bit of bizarre. But then I think it's really funny because they have the whole bit where they do it and then they start questioning the voiceover.
Yes.
And then they're like, well, what do you do? And he's like, well, I'm the voiceover guy. And he kind of does it all again. And then they restart. But obviously it's just like the jokes are even more terrible. And I thought it was quite funny as a like little sketch.
Yeah, how did this stack up for you in the pantheon of Veterinarian's Hospital?
It's probably better than some of the pun ones we've had. It's not too bad. It was quite quick and not like overly long, so I didn't think it was too bad out of like the ones we've seen previously.
I really liked this. This was giving me Music Hall, Vaudeville, the Marx Brothers, Three Stooges style. Just it's purposely caught in a loop. You as the audience member are in on the joke. It's calling attention to itself. They are breaking the fourth wall in a really interesting way. Like, we finally hear them start, talking to the announcer, and then they get stuck in this loop. I really liked this.
The whole time that we've had Veterinarians Hospital, they've always looked up to try and find the voice as well. So it's like they've sort of gone, enough is enough of us hearing this voice that we don't know where it's coming from. So not only do you have everything you've just said, Lewis, but actually it feels like a real continuation of everything we've all seen before as well.
It's them experimenting again with the form in some way.
With form.
And using sort of classic comment, like who's on first style, verbal humour tropes, and that kind of, you get trapped in a loop, and the sort of nonsense of it all and the repetition sort of builds the hilarity. I really liked it. I've always I can't imagine trying to write a sketch like that. I always think it's so clever when it's done well.
Yeah, and I think the fact that when they performed that second go, they did it quicker.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they also, like Piggy's laugh was very like, ha ha ha, like,
all
let's
of
just
them
get
in
to the
sequence
next.
doing ha 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 onto the
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, because I don't think it would have worked if they'd literally just done the sketch again in like exactly the same way. That would have been very grating.
If we'd had a Swedish chef going again around the kitchen island trying to chase the chicken as per last week. No, that would this didn't feel like that at all to me. It didn't feel like time filling. It felt like a natural progression and what's the word I'm trying to think of?
Escalation,
exactly, Jade, of the sketch. Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I noted down that when the announcer, after they'd spoken to the announcer and he said it again, because Rolf knew that the sketch was coming, I don't know if you noticed, but Rolf was like licking his paws and patting down his hair to get ready to do the sketch again as well. And it was just such a cute little detail that I was like, oh my God, Jim, you are a genius. Like, I just loved it.
I feel like I've been spending the first half of this episode trying to do that with this little, I don't know what this thing is. Like,
I don't know what that bit's doing either, Lewis.
It's my little comb over, as my dad would say. I'm just trying to hide the receding hairline. It's because I've got no product in it. It's fine. And it's been conditioned because I burnt the colour into it. Emma and I have no idea what our natural hair colour is these days.
Other than Emma's being a ghostly Vaseline blob.
Yeah, we go.
I know, right?
Emma is slowly disappearing into the ether.
Yeah.
Do you need to put a light on Emma?
The thing is, I think if I do that, you'll just see a pair of glasses.
Okay, all right, it's fine.
That's the only problem.
Oh.
Did you have fun recording? Emma just became a pair of glasses. It was great.
Yeah.
Emma was a floating orb, like a floating orb of nothing with a pair of glasses for reading. Oh. So after Veterinarian's Hospital, we go into Lou's first sort of big scene, as it were, after his number. This was where I very quickly breathed a sigh of relief, because I realised he could deliver dialogue and he could do it very well and very naturally.
I really, really liked this scene. And
me too.
The only thing I was slightly confused about was where it was meant to be set. But Muppet Wiki, thanks Muppet Wiki.
Thank you, Muppet Wiki.
Muppet Wiki seems to think that it's meant to be outside the theatre.
Well, I wondered this too.
Yeah.
But it was so bright out, and also nothing in that alleyway implied, like, there wasn't even a sign that said stage door.
No.
Do you know what I mean? There was nothing. It might as well have been the Ben Vereen street set.
On my second watch, I noticed that Lou did kind of come out of a fire escape. Yeah, there was absolutely nothing to me that actually suggested theatre. But it makes me wonder whether that's a set we're going to see again. Because
Maybe.
Muppet Wiki seemed to just sort of say, like, outside the theatre, as if that was a given. So
Because the scene seems like it takes place in the real world.
yeah.
This doesn't feel like something that's happening on stage.
Mm-mm.
Because they're talking as people. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. And I guess that also ties in with Floyd saying, like, he's taking Animal for a walk.
Which is such a cute concept as well.
I know. An animal with his chain, which is clearly doing nothing because Animal can eat it at any moment. But that's...
But, I mean, and the focus on animals sort of like it's like the breathing and trying to like maintain control. And I just thought it was really cute.
It was so sweet, and I really loved that Floyd had the opportunity to kind of be normal and just like, but do you know what I mean? Like, we haven't had that much from the Electric Mayhem yet of them as individuals. And it was really nice that they just got to have this chat, and it was also all music based. And that was clearly really playing into Lou's skill set and expertise and everything. And he just came across as, so chilled and relaxed. And also, like, he really sold that he loves Animal as a drummer, which,
yeah, it was really sweet and genuine.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was really genuine.
I always find Floyd's eyes very upsetting.
They're weird.
Weird.
They are weird.
I was very impressed when they were able to do like a blink, or there was a little close-up where they did a thing, but it still made me more alarmed because I was like, they're just holes. Yep. They're just cones doing nothing. They look like coral or something that should be under the sea.
They are really weird, especially when you see them that close. Like, very, very strange.
Something is
a miss. Emma needed to lie down after that scene.
But yeah, I thought he was really Lou was really naturally funny. He had a great sort of conversational style about him. It really was everything I kind of wanted from Elton last week. He just felt so kind of and I'm very sorry to Brendan, by the way, who felt I was being too harsh on Elton in our last week's episode. Former guest Brendan Connolly, but my opinion has not changed. I'm very sorry.
No, it was great. And to finish with Animal going to chase cars and then Lou rushing backwards and forwards and everything, like, it was, again, there was like a nice escalation, but it wasn't too crazy. It wasn't too much. It was just a really solid little bit.
And that bit was really well done, I thought, because it was like quite believable, and like Lou really threw himself into it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was quite a few moments where, I mean, short of the double take, where I never felt like Lou was too cool for this, or he didn't seem totally at home at being able to do the comedy and then just being able to do the chat and the dialogue and then just doing the numbers and interacting with the Muppets. He was such a natural good guest for the show. Completely agree.
There was he clearly wasn't sort of reserved about doing it, and was just getting on with it, was just hanging out with the Muppets and then getting down to some comedy and then also doing some numbers as well. Like, what a great guest, basically, in short.
Yeah. Somebody, unfortunately, who is not so much of a natural is poor Fozzie. And this is when we get the scene where Fozzie goes fully out the sort of the exit door. And I know we've said it, so we don't really need to retread it, but Frank Oz doing those 3 little bumps down the stairs and then wheeling his way out. It was perfect.
How?
I know. How does he do that? There's a feature we forgot about from a while ago.
There's not been that many times when we've needed to use it, I don't think. Like, unfortunately.
Yes.
But, like, this is definitely one to say it for, because...
Yeah, it was. It was like I said, when I said it earlier, like, this was amazing. It's just the detail and the nuance and the movement. And, like, even the doors were, like... They behaved and how you would expect it to behave if someone crashed through like an exit door. It was amazing.
And even though those doors are only 7/8 the height of a real door, as we now know. Thank you, Jade.
Wow, yeah, but that's why Fozzie looks so good going through it, because Fozzie's a little Muppet bear. It was great, and also Swedish Chef and Kermit's reactions were both very good in this as well.
Yeah.
Although... Did either of you notice Swedish Chef's hands in this? Just this backstage bit specifically?
No. So
Jim was obviously doing Kermit and Frank was obviously doing Fozzie. So I don't know who was puppeteering Swedish Chef. But
the killer!
I think Louise Gold was his hands.
Oh, you were trying to say whether they looked like feminine lady hands.
They were quite feminine.
Well, look, I mean, as somebody who... These are graceful pointing fingers. These are game show hostess fingers. These have not done a day's hard labour in their life.
Visa and your jewellery is here
Yeah.
for you.
Your home shopping channel. Just pointing at some Daimonique. Like,
Maybe they were, but I don't think, because of who else was puppeteering, I'm guessing it wasn't Jim or Frank's hands. So I don't know whose hands they were. But Swedish Chef did a little bit where he put both of his hands to his face in shock at Fozzie going flying. And that was when I noticed. I was like, they don't look like your usual hands, Chef. So if anyone knows whose hands they are, please let us know. I'd be very interested to know.
oh, I've had a nickel for every time I had to say that. It's a little humour there. Emma, why don't you speedily take us into the next sketch?
Yeah, so we go into the, Swedish Chef sketch.
Lewis has gone a shade of red that I did not know he was capable of going.
It's probably the wine. And my shame.
Carry on, Emma.
Yeah, so we go from Fozzie crashing through the exit door to Swedish Chef being like shoved onto stage by Scooter and Kermit, and chaos descends because Swedish Chef has like a massive knife. I don't know what it is with this show, and like the fact that they use like real knives, and then he opens.
He's got a knife.
I know, real knives, and then he takes the lid off the what is that called?
A cloche?
Cloche, yeah, and poor.
Is that what that's called?
I think it's called a cloche, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
and poor Robin is under there, and then he starts like saying he's going to make frog's legs, and then I love the fact that Robin's like, help me, and like Kermit,
It's like, Uncle Kermit!
yeah, Kermit, and then the fact that Kermit runs in and he's like, cut, and Robin's like, don't say cut, say stop.
I love that the logic of this is that because Swedish Chef has been rushed into doing his sketch, the only thing he could think of was murder my boss's nephew.
Right?
I know.
So, what could I cook? Him.
But also, like, he didn't have any time to prep anything.
Yeah.
So that means Robin was already under that cloche.
In the dish. And the fact that it's a massive knife, and it's a real knife as well.
Just like, if you think about it for more than a second, you're like, wait, how was this sketch actually going to play out? Like, were the audience just going to sit there while he took the legs off a young frog?
It was crazy.
What was Swedish Chef's plan?
Maybe he needed time to go to the pond down the road and get a frog out of the pond.
But even so, like, do you think Kermit would have just stood there and been like, yeah, all right.
I mean, Kermit stood there and let a load of lobster banditos ride in on horseback. And,
Yeah, but that's different because the lobsters had agency. He didn't see them get chucked into a pot, you know.
Oh, yeah, it was great. It was super funny. And Robin was so tiny and scrunched up when they
It
first
was going to be
did
even
the
smaller by
close-up.
the time the chef was done.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very, very funny.
All the little details of the Swedish Chef chucking his other utensils at
Yes, I love
the direction of Kermit and Scooter is great. But yeah, just this chef wasn't raised right.
No. But he can skate, which I know we'll get to in a minute.
My
My God.
My God, that chef was about to kill my nephew, but boy, can he skate.
All is forgiven.
Yeah, it's him calmly. His hands were behind his back again as well, so maybe they'd also spotted that he had his delicate murderous lady hands. Oh my God, maybe there's just an entire subplot that we don't know where Swedish Chef has had a hand transplant. He's been given the hands of a killer! And it's made him go crazy, but also given him the ability to skate. Maybe he also had a feet transplant.
Why do I think a feet transplant sounds worse than a hand transplant? I don't know. Surely, if anything, that would be.
Is it because the hand transplant you just think of, oh God, what's his name? John Hamm in 30 Rock, where he just gets given 2 hooks.
Yes.
Because he thought he waved at someone while he was out of a helicopter.
Isn't there something that's You were referencing something, though, with the hands of the killer, though, right? That's something.
There is something. I mean, my only point of reference is The Simpsons doing a reference to it in a Halloween special where Homer is given the hair of Snake in a hair transplant. And then Homer goes on a killing spree of the people who got Snake in prison. But there will definitely be some kind of B-movie of some kind where somebody's given a hand transplant from the hands of, like, a murderer. And it's definitely a thing.
This is going to bug me. Hold on.
Are you planning to program this at some point in the future, Jade? Oh, Jade, while you look that up, stick or twist on Emma's blood sugar level.
Oh, well, I'm worried she's going down, so I'll say you're still on 6, Emma.
Okay.
And I'm going to stay on 7.
Oh, Lewis is the winner, 7.2.
Oh my God.
How are you going up?
Because what I'm eating is probably starting to actually kick in as well now.
Okay.
We Chandlers have a fairly slow metabolism.
You might not need that chocolate before bed, Emma. That might be like when you peak just before bed.
Yeah, it's a fun game, I like to call. High and low. What's going to happen?
I found a couple of things, but these are not things that I've... Oh, maybe that's what I've... Oh, I don't know. Anyway, I swear I've seen... Unless it's something else I've seen that's like riffed on it as well, possibly.
Yeah, probably. It's a very, like... Yeah.
Standard thing.
Yeah, you know.
And now we come to all of our favourite segment.
Boo!
Muppet
Your
Show.
favourite Jade.
Yeah,
It's
Jade.
definitely not my favourite.
Yeah, Jade.
I hate it as much as
The
you
Jade
two do.
Turner Ballroom
Oh my
At
God.
the Dance.
It's definitely not called the Jade Turner Ballroom. Not least because it's going to be liable for the death of that Muppet, okay? So, I do not
I do not want my name anywhere near that ballroom.
No, I am not liable, okay?
Somebody Phantom of the Opera that whatnot.
I did not have a murderer hand transplant, okay? Like, this is not me. This is not me.
No, you just had a killer chandelier.
Oh, Jesus Christ, this was bad. I don't think I laughed once.
It was more just the sheer random... I did laugh when the girl got yeeted by the chandelier. I'm not gonna lie, because that really just smacked her right in the face. Like... But the references to Jaws was very strange, and all that she did was just turn around and grimace with some big teeth.
I know.
And,
I
mean, I didn't even write down any of the other jokes because I was very much like, I refuse to see it.
There was the Cyclops. There was Gonzo asking a monster, "Have you eaten my harmonica?" And the monster going with the harmonica in his throat.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't mind that one.
And there was people pox from the chickens.
Oh yeah, that was just stupid. Yeah,
they were the other ones.
It was at least brief, but I've got to say, just I could not believe when we had that little slow pan and I hear that in my nightmares. That'll be what plays when I turn 30. I just hear the call of the ballroom.
Shall we talk to Peter and make sure that he's got it lined up in time for you?
Not if you want me to stay on this podcast.
Oh, yeah. Emma, anything to add on the ballroom?
Feel free to not.
I mean, no. Like I said earlier, when I heard the opening bars of that music, I was just like, no.
Damn you, Jade!
I do not know how I have become personally responsible for this terrible, terrible sketch.
Well, to be fair, Jade, this podcast as a whole was originally your idea. So if it weren't for you, I never would have seen At the Dance anyways.
Would you not have watched The Muppet Show?
I probably would have just... I think I probably would have just dipped in and only watched episodes where I knew the guest.
Yeah.
So actually, I would have missed out on I never would have known who Connie Stevens was.
Exactly.
And there's so much gold that I wouldn't have seen, but I also wouldn't have spent... cumulatively at this point, maybe like 30 minutes of my one life on this earth watching Muppets do bad puns in the Jade Turner Memorial Ballroom.
I'm not dead, for a start.
Your career will be after you get sued because of that chandelier.
Fine.
Sorry, I don't know why I said the Jade Turner Memorial.
Maybe you've got the murderous hand transplant. And,
Not good at mime.
Okay, well,
It's like when one of my friends started calling me. If you watch the Betty and Joan feud, a lot of it takes place at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, and one of my friends just started calling me Dorothy Chandler Pavilion. Just anyway.
very funny.
So somebody call Zoe Deschanel because we're looking for a ukulele girl.
Ukulele lady.
Sorry, ukulele lady.
Oh my god.
Oh, this was cute.
Yeah, it was so cute.
Super cute.
When I saw Piggy on that moon, I literally was like, oh, this is adorable.
And my god, she is cinched.
Yeah, I wrote down. Oh, I wrote down.
That is some lean pork mince, baby.
I wrote down Miss Piggy's waist, non-existent.
I know. Wearing some sort of nude corset, or maybe she's just been, I don't know. But that was great, enviable.
She's been on it.
Yeah.
But she's still got her tights on, which is slightly concerning to me because
the
pig needs liberating from the tights.
I thought it was perfect.
Let Miss Piggy's legs breathe, God damn it.
And not to jump down, but then she started singing that "If I Like a You
I
and
know,
You
we got
Like
the
a Me."
cakewalk.
Yeah, from Mimi and St. Libby.
Yeah. Under the
I was
bamboo
so happy.
tree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is great because we still get a Judy reference in this episode.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, this was so cute.
I love to linger in the moonlight on Honolulu Bay. Fond memories cling to me by moonlight, although I'm far away. Boom, boom, and all the beaches, boom, boom, are full of peaches, boom, boom, who bring their ukes along. And in the glimmer of the moonlight, they love to sing this song. If you like a ukulele lady, ukulele lady like you. If you like to linger where it's shady, ukulele lady linger too.
So it's Ukulele Lady. It's from 1925. Richard A. Whiting did the music and Gus Kahn did the lyrics, which I had to do a double take on that when I first read it. I was like, Gus Kahn? What's he doing lyrics in 1925? But it's Gus Kahn. Yeah, I think has become a bit of a standard, I think, over time.
Yeah, it's a cute one.
Yeah, it's really, really sweet. I loved them with their leis around their necks and the tropical shirts and the straw hats. And again, I said last week, didn't I, that Kermit doesn't get that many outfits, but he's in another outfit this week. It's
he is.
Letting Kermit do some numbers.
It's
was
very
great.
cute. What was the name of the third Muppet who's in this?
I don't know. Emma, do you know who that was?
No, I'm not sure who that was actually. Yeah, I don't know because when I saw it said Kermit and Miss Piggy, but I don't know if they named the other Muppet actually.
Do we think it's just like a nondescript whatnot?
Yeah, maybe it's just a little whatnot then. I did think it was interesting that it was Scooter and then a little whatnot, but I guess maybe as much as anything that was to do with, I guess Jim, Frank, and Richard were all.
Frank's up in the moon.
Frank's in the sky.
I mean, they could have had Gonzo.
I don't know if Gonzo gives off Honolulu ukulele vibes.
Yeah,
True.
he's more like a different kind of laid. He's playing with the chickens, and that didn't really work.
You could have had. Well, I guess they didn't want another woman. I was going to say you could have had Janice. Janice would have been really cool in this.
Piggy would have jumped down from that moon.
From that moon.
I did kind of hope that we might get a little moment of Piggy accidentally tumbling out of the moon
Yeah,
and
I
hanging
thought
onto
we
the
were
edge,
gonna get something.
Yeah.
looking really glamorous and just desperately clinging onto the edge of this moon while this lovely song.
Especially when it really started to sway at
Yes.
one point, and I thought
Yes.
she's going flying. It's happening. She's going
Yeah,
flying.
I thought they wouldn't let our girl just have a nice, beautiful moment. I
No.
thought they're surely gonna, take her down a peg, but no, they let her stay up in the moon.
I couldn't believe that they didn't take her down a peg. It was prime. She was literally floating on the moon.
I
There's so
know.
many things. Maybe she's got written into her contract no Wayne and Wonder shenanigans will happen to me at this point.
Well, maybe now that Miss Mousie's gone, she doesn't have to worry and, like, launch herself. And, like...
Now that Miss Mousie is dead.
Yeah.
She has nothing to fear.
No, it was really, really lovely.
It was so sweet.
Made me want to go on a nice vacation.
Oh, tell me about it.
I want palm trees. Something I definitely do not need is a puppet pig holding a very sedate real pig singing a song.
Oh my god, it was so creepy.
We need to talk about that pig because I don't know if you've ever seen a little piglet, but they are very active. Lewis pulled a face at that, everyone. Piglets as in actual piglets,
I
Lewis.
got it, Jade.
They are incredibly active little animals.
They gave it the same stuff that they gave to that very sedate puppy that Rolf sang to.
But puppies are known for sleeping a lot. Like, they must have given it so much of whatever that was, because there is no way. I mean, that pig was like completely glazed over.
It was going to be a glazed. I bet by the time that song was finished, Swedish Chef was just waiting with his
barbecue.
With his murderous hands and his enormous knife to glaze that ham in a different way.
Hold on though, this again makes no sense. Swedish Chef has no time to prepare. There is a live pig in the studio that day, and he doesn't immediately just go and grab the pig.
Jade, you wanted to watch Swedish Chef butcher a pig on stage?
No, I didn't. I'm just saying that,
slit
like,
its throat and let it bleed out for like 2 minutes as a do 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 do
boink, like boink.
Oh my god.
No.
But no,
obviously not.
This was super creepy though. I was like, that pig is drugged.
Again, penny for any time I've heard that.
So can I tell you they're not particularly fun facts about this song. It's kind of concerning, actually, to be honest with you. So the song is Sunny Boy, and it's from The Singing Fool, which is a 1928. Basically, it was the follow-up to The Jazz Singer. So it's not a full-on talking musical. It's like The Jazz Singer in that it's still got some silent bits in it.
It's
and
just
it was
got moments of,
sound. It was released as silent and talking, but there's more talking and singing in it than The Jazz Singer has. It was an absolute box office smash. It took 5.9 million at the box office, which, for 1928 is a lot. And it was Warner Brothers' biggest release until I think the early 40s. I mean, it's like it was huge for them. It took so much money. It's Al Jolson, obviously, as well, and he is in full blackface.
Yes, I was about to say,
yeah. And he performs at this is just the name of it, I'm not being racist, he performs at Blackie Joe's Cafe, which you're just like, Jesus Christ, does it get any worse? But so I'm like, how is this the song you decide to do as the UK spot when you've got one of the rare black men performers
God, I didn't
on
even think of
the
that.
show? Like, I just think it's... I mean, one, why are you even doing this song in the first place? Like, it's creepy with Link and the real pig and the drugs and whatever. Like,
the drugs. I love that we're just taking it as a definitive now. Like, with
they
Link and the
obviously
pig
did. There's
and the
no
drugs.
way that pig was just chilling like that. Like, it didn't even flinch when he was like creepily.
I mean, the only thing I
it.
can think is like it would be like if we were then suddenly picked up by an enormous felt.
Oh my God!
Unreal human and then sung to. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to think. Maybe as a defense mechanism, I would stay very still, hoping that if I was compliant, I might at a moment be able to escape. You know what I mean? Just like if aliens came down in big felt human suits and just gently picked you up and sang you a number.
Oh my God!
I think the choice between trying to make a run for it and be shot by a ray gun, or just be like, okay, just go limp and let it happen. Just, okay. So who's to say?
You might be onto something, but I'm pretty sure drugs were involved.
Pig is paralyzed with fear or drugs.
Oh, Christ. But yeah, I just thought it was in incredibly bad taste that they did this during Lou's episode.
Yes.
I really thought that was very, very poor.
Yeah. You know what? I agree, and let's move the hell on, because what else is there to say about this? Then this is weird. We get another sort of return of the season 1 chat with the guest, albeit to then transition into a song. But very strange to suddenly see Kermit perched back up on that little, I don't even know what you would call that, banister.
It's the talk spot, isn't
Yes.
it?
I was going to say, we're back in the talk spot
I
corner.
couldn't even remember what we called
Well,
it.
it's been so long since we've had it. I thought they'd got rid of the set.
I mean,
Yeah.
the bit that Kermit was sitting on did look a little worse for wear. I'm not going to lie. If you look at it, I did notice, have they pulled that from the back of some kind of,
Yeah.
scenic stage, storage?
Yeah, I think you might be right. I mean, I guess they did it because they wanted to do a sort of relaxed, jazzy number. And they wanted a bit of a different setup for it. But I don't know. I mean, I didn't mind the chat between Kermit and Lou about, like, Kermit saying to him, how is it that you do this? And then trying to imitate him and clearly totally failing at trying to be chill and relax and making his voice go a bit deeper and everything. But I didn't quite 100% get it, especially when we had another smash cut to the Electric Mayhem just magically appearing around him. I was a bit confused as to exactly what they were trying to do.
Yeah, I felt the same. I thought it was quite weird that they had obviously this interaction first with Kermit and Lou, and then, like you say, the smash cut, and then Kermit was literally like, I'm gonna disappear, and then it's literally he just disappears, so then we can go into the number. It's a bit of a weird, like, transition.
The transition is odd. However, I did really like the song.
The song's fun.
I liked the sort of, like the sort of, it's a jazzed up Blackbird jive turkey as well, which always a fun term to hear. You don't hear jive turkey.
Big Bird gets a shout out.
And Big
too.
Bird, yes, as well. Nice little shout. And all the other Muppets reacting to that, which I thought was very cute. Also, to see Electric Mayhem scat singing. A very versatile band.
Oh, they can do it all.
They can.
Back up on my Karen wall, here I go, sing low, bye, bye.
Hold it, Floyd. Be cool now. Wait a minute. Somewhere somebody's waiting for me. Sugar is sweet, so is she. Goodbye. Bye, you jive turkey, you.
Oh, really?
I wonder can them all understand me. Oh, what hard luck stories they all each and everybody hands me. Make my bed and light the light, but I might not get home tonight. Chicken, turkey, owl, parakeet, parrot, pheasant, partridge, minor bird, kiwi bird, hummingbird, jaybird, red bird, bluebird, big bird. Bow, bow, do-be-you, bow, bow, do-be-you, bow, 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 bow-ba-doo, bow.
Skittle lamb, ding-dong.
Beep-a-dee-ba-dee-ba-boo, doo-be-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-doo, bang, bang, bang.
I wasn't sure how you two were going to feel about the scatting, because I feel like we've discussed scatting before and you weren't massive fans.
I don't mind scat singing. I think it's very easy to do bad scat singing. Like if I were to do scat singing, where I'd be like, scuba boo doo doo boo, scuba doo boo. Have I ever told you? Oh my, I was told a story about when I was at drama school and we had a singing teacher who was perfectly nice. But one of the modules she made us do was in our sort of singing groups of like 8 or 9, we had to come up with like a medley of songs that we all brought in and then tried to put together. But the only accompaniment we could do would be to do like boom,
Oh my God.
or a scoop-a-doo. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and so there'd be a few people singing it and the rest of people would be doing percussion of the mouth. And I just remember we got given this project and we were so confused, and it felt like whenever we tried to ask her advice, she would give such vague answers that it got to a point that we just had a running joke where we would sort of be in the lunchroom sort of making fun of it, being like, oh, excuse me, Leslie, could you think it is? And she'd just be like, scoobity boop, scoobapty boop, skibap boop, whoa. No, but actually I really wanted to ask you whether it's scoobap, scooby boop boop, and that's pretty much what we did. We paid money for that. She was paid money for that.
She was laughing at all of you so hard every night.
She was scoobity-dooping all the way to the bank.
And Emma scatting.
I don't know. It's one of those things where, like Lewis said, it needs to be done well. Otherwise, I don't know. I just find it a little bit annoying, to be honest.
I thought they did a really funny job of making all of the Electric Mayhem members do it in quite a different, fun way from one another. Like, it felt very in character.
Yep.
I think it also helped that Lou was really interacting with them and really reacting to how they were doing it too.
Yeah, definitely. That helped it.
That was really lovely.
I got the kind of the repartee that I wanted earlier in his first number here, which I really appreciated.
Yeah. An animal just going scad, scad, boom, boom was amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Frank.
I don't know if there's much more we need to say about the sort of backstage scene that follows this one. It's kind of more of the same.
Yeah, it's sort of similar, and we've already spoken about Swedish Chef being a wonderful skater, so...
And a murderer. It's a triple threat. A chef, a skater, and a murderer. But we do get another Muppet Labs with my sweet baby Prince Pika, who is giving some little initial meeping sounds. We're slowly getting closer to the meep, meep, meep. I can't do it. My voice is not there. I can't do that. But we're getting closer and closer to full Beaker.
I thought this was hilarious.
Incredibly cute. I mean, you could see what the punchline was going to be a mile off, but even so.
Nuclear-powered shaver, Beaker's face when he hears that he's might be losing his hair to it. I feel like his hair's already taking a real battering this season. He's only...
Well, yeah, it might still be a wig.
Yeah. He's been in 3 episodes and it's not going well for his hair.
Yeah.
The solid lead. Did they know about lead in the 70s, or were they still... gamely?
Oh, what you mean about it being poison?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think
I don't think they did, because they were still painting like playgrounds with them, wasn't it? Like lead paint.
I think you're right, Emma. Because I meant to look it up and I didn't get a chance to do it before we started recording. I was like,
oh, you didn't get time to look up lead poisoning?
I didn't mean to.
Didn't get a chance to over dinner just do a little light reading, like when you fall down one of those like Wikipedia holes where you're like, where did that plane that like crashed in 2014 go? Did we ever get an answer?
Where did it go, Lewis?
Well, they feel like they found some of it, Jade. I hate to break it to you, so they think it just crashed into the ocean.
Well, okay, but where's the rest of it?
At the bottom of the ocean, Jade. I don't...
Anyway, so yeah, because I feel like if they did know that lead was poisonous, bit dodgy for a family show to be like, we're going to put the lead on the Muppet's head, but they probably didn't know. They definitely didn't care.
They're all sitting in their asbestos homes, Jade. They don't know what's doing.
It was great when his neck collapsed. I thought that was so funny.
I know, poor little Beaky.
And did you clock Bunsen was laughing at him?
Yeah,
at
he
the
had a really
end?
weird little breathy laugh. Didn't care for that at all.
I feel like it was quite in character for him though to laugh like that.
Yeah, it was like a kind of like half-assed Muttley from I don't know, Wacky Races.
Wacky Races.
Yeah, catch the pigeon.
Maybe. It was good. It was nice to see them.
It was.
And then we finally get to Fozzie's big roller skating extravaganza on stage.
Oh, bless him.
Why is he still performing in front of that god-awful park flat? Like, it's just horrendous. I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm so
it's
done
a
with
terrible
it.
set. Such a bad
It
set.
is. Although weirdly, the first time it makes more sense for him to be in front of
Yes,
that park
that's
set, because
true.
at least he's on roller skates.
Yes, yeah.
Oh. Emma, what did you think of this?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Jade, when I first saw that set again, I was like, oh no, like, where's this going? But it was actually really quite funny, and it was just kind of nice to see him kind of rolling around, and the fact that he was like, I'm going to do this joke on one leg and skating backwards, and, you know, there were lots of, like, really fun bits like that, and, you know, I like the fact he had his skating puns and stuff, and it was really funny, and when he kind of like skated off stage as well, and then he landed and tried to like grab up onto the balcony, I thought that was quite funny as well.
It was very cute.
There was some good solid back and forth with Statler and Waldorf and Fozzie, I thought.
Yeah, definitely.
And I also noticed that when he had his foot up and was doing that bit backwards, and then when he lost control, did you notice how much his ears were wiggling? They were going absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know they could still do that.
I know, me neither. Like, I was like, oh, his ears still wiggle. It was so cute. It was so funny.
It's the perfect balance of Fozzie is doing badly, but it's done in a cute way and not a sad way. It's exactly what we talked about for the entirety of the first season of this is no longer sad sack Fozzie. This is relentless optimism Fozzie and comically failing, but in a way that's endearing and not off-putting.
To be honest, it's as simple as they've gone, Fozzie's going to do some bad comedy,
Yes.
And they've added that and the and is actually funny, and it's totally working.
Yeah.
You know, having him on roller skates, like, yes, I don't really need to ever see him on roller skates again. Like, that's not something we need to see.
Not unless it's like in a Muppet movie style, we get to see his legs doing it.
Yeah, of course. But in this sort of context of like, oh, he's still not learned. It's like, I'm not really interested in Fozzie's development as a roller skater.
Yes.
But for this one episode, it was the perfect comedic runner to have for this episode.
Or roller.
Roller.
Well, let's roll our way into the final number, shall we? What is the name of this song?
It's called You're the One.
I've been all over the world, and I've seen all kinds of girls. But baby, let me tell you that you're the one. You know that I met this girl in Hong Kong. She said her name was Susie Wong. But baby, let me tell you that you're the one. I'm trying to tell you that you're the one. You are the one. You're the one. Hey, baby, you are the one.
Is this his big hit?
No, this isn't.
Oh!
No.
It's from the same album. It's from the same album, the 1976 album. And it's not the big hit. So,
Oh, God. So
he doesn't do the big hit. I guess
No.
he didn't need to.
He's doing a Madonna. It's like, we're touring the new album, and if you want Like a Prayer, then, yeah, all out of luck. Just...
Yeah, should have been born 20 years earlier.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess maybe they did this so that he could sing it to Miss Piggy. That's the only reason I can...
Yep.
And because I couldn't
His
particularly see
pork
that
chop,
it was a new...
his ham hock.
Oh, I love the fact that she had her little setup with her little champagne on her table.
And she was wearing her nice blouse that she was wearing in the
Yes.
Elton John episode. Clearly that's a new outfit that she just got.
It's her finale outfit now, I
Yes!
think.
Yeah, Piggy was loving life. She was like, I've got the prime table at Magic Mike Live, and I am going to enjoy every damn moment of it.
Also, I felt like for the first time the Electric Mayhem set made a bit more sense to me, that they'd put that mirror up and it just looked a bit more grand and a bit less, I don't know, just like crap Top of the Pops, which is sort of what I got from it before.
I know you
I know
did.
you really like it.
I
just
do
don't
really like it.
I know you like it. It's fine.
Well,
It's
good.
that I'm saying, like, it made more sense to me this week. And also, like, the fact that you had the little, like, trumpeters and things with them.
Their big band, yeah.
Their big band, which was, like, 3 extra Muppets, I think.
No.
And a mirror.
Yeah.
The cut to and the reveal of Piggy there with her table cracked me up. I was like, what's...
I know, it didn't make any, like...
No logical sense.
No, not even any, they didn't even do the pretense of, like, we'll set some other tables up around it.
No.
You know, like it's dinner theatre or something,
Yeah.
I don't know. Or like, you know, yeah, drinks at a cabaret venue. It's just, just Piggy has planted herself on stage to watch Lou.
She was loving it, and she was really looking up at him, and it was fun to watch Piggy, but for ages he was basically ignoring her. It was only near the end of the song that he actually started singing to her and interacting with her.
Piggy, you gotta make her want it. Like, you can't...
Well, but then he should have played that up a bit more, because it just seemed like he forgot she was there.
Well, to be fair, we didn't cut to her until halfway through the song and then she suddenly appeared. Maybe for the first half of the song, she's dragging that table out and then her chair and then bringing out her champagne. So
She's like placing the champagne bottle
yeah, so
on there.
he's actually trying to be professional, ignoring this big actress who is just dragging a setup for her to sit down, and then he's just rolling with it like it's a thing. He might just be being incredibly professional.
Maybe, but it seemed a bit odd to me that she's giving it the full, like, kissy kissy, and he's just like, I'm just gonna sing out to the rest of the crowd that aren't there, rather than this one Muppet that is definitely there.
Yeah, it was a bit of an odd one.
I did enjoy that she, near the end, when in response to him was like, I hear you, Lou, tell me.
Oh, no.
Like, it was very, I did feel like it was quite wish fulfillment for Piggy.
Oh,
She was getting to join in with this song.
Yeah. I should say as a sidebar, any and all of Lou's suits were my outfit of the week this week. Any single one of those would have been, pop that straight into my wardrobe.
And then probably straight up in flames, because there's no way they weren't all 100% polyester.
I love that you think that I don't own some polyester.
I loved this goodbye scene.
Oh, it was so cute. I mean, Lou,
was
again,
great.
fully committing to the bit. And I don't know how he was doing that kind of like, unless he actually was on roller skates or they
I
had
think
him on.
he might have been on roller skates.
Or if he was on some sort of, I don't know, like a little wooden plank on wheel. Do you know what I mean? Like something where they were just like careening him between. But
I feel like his balance might not have been as good if he wasn't actually in control
yeah,
of
but it was
the...
the thing is, it was just so smooth when he was
Yeah.
doing it. I was so impressed by it.
It was amazing. I just loved that we had Muppets just rolling everywhere. Like, sometimes the goodbyes can feel quite static and a bit sort of like, oh, it's the goodbyes, yeah, guest comes out, la la la.
Yeah.
Music plays. They're doing so many more fun things. Like, having this straight off the back of the Elton John one, it's just so joyful. It's just so... I don't know. For me, it just makes me really, really want to watch the next one, because I'm just like,
Yeah.
I just love spending time with these furry little guys. Like, it's just amazing.
Yeah, it was super cute. Well, I will be very interested to see how we're each going to rank the episode. But first, we must decide upon our MVMP. Emma, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, so my MVMP for this episode is Fozzie Bear.
Oh.
Yay! I just think he was really fun on his roller skates. I know I said earlier I was a bit like, oh no, I feel like we've gone back to season 1. But actually, when you kind of look at it as a whole, and then like his final sketch as well, it was just so nice to see like Fozzie being Fozzie. He wasn't like sad sack Fozzie. He was just a lot of fun. And like we were saying earlier, like the sort of puppetry with him and all his movements, like it was so believable that he was on skates and kind of bobbing around and like crashing, and especially when he went through those exit doors, which was just so well done. So I would say for this episode, my MVMP is Fozzie Bear. How about you, Jade?
Fozzie on skates.
Yay!
Just amazing. The puppetry was incredible. We've talked about it at length, but he was on skates.
No doubt about it.
Fozzie is a badly skating bear. That's all you need to know about this episode. It was amazing. Lewis, 3 for 3.
It is 3 for 3.
Yeah!
It is Fozzie on skates. Yeah. What? There could be no one else.
No.
Yeah, absolutely not. All right, let's move on to our rankings for the week. Emma, why don't you kick us off?
So, for this episode, I think I'm going to give it 6.5 groovy people out of 10. Overall, it was an enjoyable episode, but like I said earlier, I did have some flashbacks to season 1, and I was a bit like, oh no, what's going on? Especially with like the at the dance moment, and to be honest, as we've all said, the truly terrible UK spot. But then it really picked up with Vet's Hospital and the sort of really cute ukulele lady and Muppet Labs, and also Lou as a guest overall. I think he did really well. He wasn't just kind of singing and not participating. He showed a really good kind of acting persona as well when he was in his sketches. So that's why I kind of decided to give it 6.5. But like I said, the sort of talk spot was a little bit clunky until it got to the song, and at the dance really kind of knocked off a few points for me. So for this week and for this episode, I'm gonna award it 6.5 groovy people out of 10. How about you, Jade?
Yeah, this is quite a tricky one, because I do feel like Lou Rawls has been a really, really great guest.
Yeah.
And there are some really lovely moments in it, but there are definitely some things, exactly like you've just said, that definitely bring it down a bit. I'm actually going to give it 7 out of 10 scat scat boom booms.
Nice.
Primarily because I think as an overall episode, it is better than something like Elton John's episode because Lou just sells it so much better. And even though it has got things like At the Dance and a bit of a weird talk spot going on.
And the UK spot.
And the UK spot. I was trying to forget about that.
Yeah, me too.
I think actually this is a really quite a solid episode and it does show that they're going in the right direction. And I really enjoyed all the ways that they were trying to play with the form. And I don't know, I can't give... Frank is just doing such a good job with Fozzie in this episode. You can't give it too low because... Like, you gotta give it up for someone who is, like, just a master of their craft, goddammit. Like,
yes.
Yeah. 7 out of 10 scat scat boom booms.
Yeah.
Lewis?
I think I'm going to need a second opinion. Emma, could you scan your blood sugar level, please?
Okay. Drum roll, please.
What if she's gone up to, like, 9, Lewis? What are you gonna do then?
We'll see, Jade.
You haven't thought
9.3.
Oh, we're not giving it that. I'm so sorry. My upper limit was a 7.5, and I not for you. I want you to live, Emma. But you know,
That's good to know.
Should I go with that? Do you know what? I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to give it 7.5 big collared shirts out of 10. I think it's a testament to how good the rest of the episode is that I enjoyed it as much as I did, despite an At the Dance, despite the weird UK spot. It's just really fun. Lou is a great guest. I love the simplicity of the runner and how they make it literally roll onto stage. I think it's really well structured and hopefully a sign of good things continuing to come. So yeah, I'm gonna stick to my original write down and not go for Emma's blood sugar level because that is a bit too high, and go for 7.5 big collared shirts out of 10. All right, let's roll our way over to Jade's Muppet Book Club Corner Club. What have you got for us this week? I did it!
You did it!
I did. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, today is Louise Gold's birthday. Happy birthday, Louise Gold.
Way to steal my thunder, but that's fine.
So I thought I'd read a little segment from Of Muppets and Men that talks about Louise in honour of her birthday. So this is from Of Muppets and Men by Christopher Finch. And Christopher Finch writes, Louise Gold, the only British member of the Muppet Company, has also been a considerable asset so far as the musical resources of the troupe are concerned. A volatile redhead with the offstage manner of a latter-day Tallulah Bankhead, though somewhat less restrained. She has been blessed with a voice that carries and a gift for invective that adds a certain spice to life around Studio D. No Shrinking Violet, Louise Gold, inside one of the Muppet Monsters, enlivened one royal variety performance by attempting to embrace Prince Charles. Born in London, Louise Gold attended the Arts Education School and before joining the Muppets worked in repertory theatres in various parts of England. A fine singer with a gift for vocal parody, she is often featured in production numbers. Her most notable characterisation on the show has been Annie Sue, Miss Piggy's sweet, young and talented admirer who may well be an Eve Harrington in the making.
Oh, Louise Gold sounds fab.
Yeah. Louise Gold, if you're listening.
Oh,
I was going to say, if you're listening,
you're always welcome on the show.
always. Anybody who's described as a less held back Tallulah Bankhead, you are right in my wheelhouse.
Quite I was going to say accolade, but I don't know if that's quite the right word.
Yeah, amazing.
Happy birthday, Louise Gold.
And
Emma, is it someone else's birthday soon? I forget.
I don't know. Is it? Who?
well,
Who dat?
I do also share my birthday with Trixie Mattel and Gene Kelly. So
I noticed as well that it was Richard Hunt's birthday, I think, this week too. And it's like, Lewis, I feel like you've missed your calling in puppeteering. Like, clearly it's a natural thing for you Leos to do.
I have done my time with puppets. I have done puppets at Christmas. That is enough. Although they were nowhere near as good as Muppet puppets. They were just sock puppets.
Sock puppets for Christmas.
A sock puppet for Christmas.
That sounds like a very, very sad Jacqueline Wilson book or something.
Oh my god. Or I was going to say the weirdest Hallmark holiday movie you've ever seen. Like there'll be
Oh
two
my
like
God,
very plain but beautiful people looking at each other in a snowy scene, and they're both just holding a sock puppet each, looking like
I
themselves.
do love a Hallmark holiday Christmas film. I mean, there's like one that I saw that was called Merry and Bright, and it was from their surnames of the two main characters.
Like Rosemary and Thyme.
Yeah.
Oh, there are some great ones. Anyway, we've got a long way till Christmas yet. So, until we get there, thank you so much for listening to Muppetsational. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review, as it really helps spread the word about the podcast. You can follow us on social media. We are at Muppetsational on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook. You can contact us or send birthday well wishes to hiho@muppetspodcast.com.
So thirsty.
I can give out my Cash App in case you want to send me a gift, and you can
No,
find out
Lewis.
and you can find out more about us and the podcast at muppetspodcast.com, and you can DM me for my Cash App. Anyway,
Please don't.
as my last desperate act as a 29-year-old, I would like to say thank you to all for joining us. I have been Lewis Chandler.
I was going to wish you happy birthday, and now I'm like, no. Happy birthday, Lewis. I've been Jade Turner.
And I've been Emma Chandler.
And she's not wishing
Oh
you
my
happy
god!
birthday.
I hope you choke on a Freddo. Just
Oh. Happy birthday.
thank you.
She can't check on a Fredo, Lewis. She has to keep doing these funny obituaries for us, okay? Like,
God.
don't say that.
And Emma Chandler died eating a
Choke on a
Freddo.
Fredo!
We shall see you next week on another older episode of Muppetsational. Bye.
Bye.
By which I mean we'll be older. It won't be an old episode. God's sake.
You'll be older.
Yes, that we're very aware.
It's nearly your birthday, Emma.
True.
Right, that's enough.
Bye.
Bye.
Our theme music is Peppy Pepe by Kevin MacLeod, and our artwork is designed by Charlotte Rudge, who you can follow at Charlie_R_Rudge on Instagram.
That was a funny show.
Yes, it was. I wonder if they meant it that way.